We're back! It is a lovely Tuesday evening here. And we are back. I am here tonight with Wessel and Tegan. Pretty good crew we got going on tonight. We can get down to the nitty-gritty of that Saturday night Daytona race. Where the story is the 34th place driver in the NASCAR Cup Series standings wins his way into the playoffs. Knocks out Bubba Wallace, who has over double the amount of points he has this year. Yet, we all kind of enjoyed the win, I think. I think it was kind of a unanimously enjoyed win. It was really, don't hate the player, hate the game type of situation with fan reaction, which you don't see very often in NASCAR. Usually it's hate the player, even if they have nothing to do with it. But
I feel like it's gotten that way as we get deeper in the week. That's the argument. Every day I see more on it. Nobody I don't remember the playoffs even being mentioned during the fucking race when he won.
Yeah.
To be honest, it was mostly about the win, which I love to see. But now that we get each day of the week, people now are bitching more and more about the playoffs. So,
what's that?
Is he roboted to you? He's roboted to me.
He just I can hear him clearly. It's just there's a little
strange
little techno filter on it.
Yeah.
Sounds like some Kid A Radiohead. But yeah, no, it's I think it was a really good win. Like it was a feel good moment. You know, I'm sitting there. I just got home from the Creed concert back to my grandparents before I was going to drive home. And I was tearing up in the chair, like watching it. That was a beautiful moment with a fantastic call from Lee Diffie. I mean, it was perfect. It was a great race from everything I saw and a great finish. Harrison Burton charges on the last lap with a push from Parker Retzlaff and beats Kyle Busch at Daytona. I mean, an incredible finish, a huge moment for Harrison Burton, who's out of a job and might have just saved his career. Because, I know it's kind of a cliche thing to think about, but a win, even if it is at a Daytona, that's a big deal. And he could, put himself in conversations for some solid rides. Not solid, but some cup rides, which I don't know if 4 or 5 days ago he was going to be in the spot to get a cup ride.
I think everybody kind of sleeps on Harrison Burton, though, being a good plate racer.
He's You
got to remember, his first plate race at Daytona 500, he was literally running second when he got wrecked by Brad.
It was one of the faster cars in that race.
It was up there the whole race.
Yeah, he got a bad push from Brad and flipped.
Yeah. The results haven't been quite there for him, so I guess, like, on the first layer you look at
top 5 finish in 97 starts is what I heard. Not counting this one.
Yeah, his best race, I'd argue, was maybe the first Darlington race last year. He ran pretty well, top 10 the whole time. But just haven't seen enough from him yet. And I mean, nobody can fault Wood Brothers for the decision they made to announce that he will not be back, because he doesn't deserve to be back with how he's ran. But he has put them in the playoffs for the first time in 4 or 5 years here.
Longer.
No, I think didn't Benedetto make it in 2020, 2019?
I don't think DiBenedetto ever made the playoffs.
Really?
He was always on the bubble, but never made it in.
I thought he did.
I don't think so.
Sure?
I'm
pretty sure he made it one year.
Well, it must not been too good because we don't remember.
I'm pretty sure he made it.
Maybe he did make it one year, actually, now that I think about it.
I'm looking right now.
I think he did sneak in one year.
Yeah, it's his best finish in the Cup Series is 13th in 2020.
Okay.
So that would imply he did make the playoffs. But so that's the first time since then, which is a big deal. And, of course, we've been hyping it up for about 8 years now. The Wood Brothers' 100th win. When is it going to happen? Anytime the 21 car sniffs the top 5, the commentators mention that. And it finally happened that Saturday night. So we can put that storyline to bed.
When are they going to get 101?
Glad Harrison got it over fucking Josh Berry.
Really? You don't?
I'm going to tell you right now. If Josh Berry struggles in this car next year, I don't think we can no longer blame the driver.
Okay. Yeah,
I think that's fair.
Barry's done a solid job.
I definitely think that
it's going to be telling.
Ford in general has struggled in the next gen car.
It seems like only one team hits it, and they're not sharing. It was Penske, and then now it's RFK.
Now it's kind of RFK, but it feels like it's been really rough to be a tier 2 Ford team in the next gen car, and that's what
SHR is gone.
What Wood Brothers is.
know?
SHR went out of business because of it.
Which, if you had told me that a few years ago, I would think you're.
Or last year,
yeah,
Harvick said that. I mean, I don't think they'd put Josh Berry in that car if he knew that they were going to, call it halfway through the fucking season this year.
Sure. Mm-hmm. It's
You thought they might downsize, but a total,
I mean, technically they downsized and rebranded.
Wow.
I mean,
Gene wanted to stay. Apparently, Tony said, "Fuck it, I want."
Jimmy sold out. Gene wanted to keep a car. Yeah.
So, what do you think? I mean, let's talk about the moment, right? Lee Diffie did a fantastic job in his first race in the booth. And this is no. I know Rick Allen. I used to hate.
Give that guy an exclusive 36 race schedule.
Lee Diffie just have.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that'd be a disservice to Lee Diffie.
Also
and
don't
us. He'd get tired of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the NBC time, he'd be fucking like dog shit.
I think for the foreseeable future, as long as NBC keeps him in this role, he'll be a fantastic way to end the season. I mean, because I think you'll get them for the last 14 races of the year. That's when the pay window opens in the NASCAR Cup Series now. So I think he's the guy for it. I would have said Mike Joy in the past, but he's not.
Mike Joy's gotten older. Mike Joy was good 10 years ago. As you age, you do get a little bit slower on the uptake. It's normal.
Yeah.
It's very rare that if you're
honestly,
if you're still putting it out there quickly.
The last good Mike Joy call that I can really remember offhand was the Hamlin Truex finish at the 500. That was pretty good. That was a good call.
Coordinator is there? That's the last year I think we had a Darrell Waltrip in the booth with him. And
I didn't like Darrell Waltrip in that call though. Darrell Waltrip was stepping all over him.
That's not
that call. But that's what got used to that with Fox though.
Waltrip had a couple years after that, but I think Mike Joy does have his moments still of being pretty good, but
he does mess up a lot.
The energy is just not there in the Fox anymore.
I think
he messes up a lot though.
He needs a better supporting cast, and I mean Fox's overall presentation is just awful. You watch that Saturday night Daytona race on NBC, and it is everything you could ask for in a NASCAR broadcast. And then I know it's the Truck Series, but you turn on the Milwaukee Mile at 4:00 on Sunday, and the graphics are disgusting. Adam Alexander did the best he could, but the life wasn't there. I mean, the overall production from Fox is just bad. So hopefully, I mean, one thing I will ask more than anything is them to have a new graphics package. I despise.
They've been in desperate need of a new graphics package. All of Fox in general, not just NASCAR, because they use the same graphics package for football, baseball,
their
whatever.
graphics package. I hate the fonts. I hate the colors. I hate the cartoons.
They've been in desperate need for that for
goofy
5 years now.
Silly.
Yeah.
I wish Fox used to have the cool graphics. Their graphics used to be the coolest, and they were a little more minimalistic then. I guess.
So it tells me if it's all across the board, I wonder if there's issues with money. If they're having to cut corners, and NBC, NBC is going to get money compared to Fox.
Well,
Fox is a big four, but they're still a big three in NBC, ABC, and CBS. Fox is not going to hold a candle to them when it comes to money, I guess.
And Fox is also getting sued.
And they're kind of a joke in the news side business, which kind of leaks over into everything else.
Well, they're getting sued a big time for what happened with their coverage of the 2020 election, and some of the lies that they put out there.
Yep.
But we won't go into that. I really think they need a totally different graphics package. So they introduced this 2 years ago, maybe.
It was 2021, I think.
2022. I think they introduced the not just
the cartoons were
the cartoons have been there for a while.
COVID. Yeah, around COVID.
But the graphics package they have now, I think they introduced in 2022, and it's disgusting. I mean, they had a yellow highlighter on the playoff truck guys on Sunday, and white lettering for their names. That's real.
I think
real
NBC
good.
just uses like a yellow and green arrow next to
Yeah,
the ticker.
I think so. But if you're gonna do a yellow highlight around them, do black letters so you can see it. You know, if you did yellow with white letters, then you're not gonna see.
Yeah,
his
it's
name.
something I've got to play around with when I do sheets too. Is I try not to make it fucking like hard on the eyes.
Right.
I think they got somebody doing that over there. Maybe I need to go fill in a application.
I really think you do a better job. I'm so serious. I think we need NSP to cook them up a graphics pack.
Cook up the graphics.
I'm serious. I really think he does a great job for us, and he would do a much better job than what they're doing at Fox. Let's stop complaining about Fox. This was a great moment. Jeff Burton getting jocked up in the booth. Lee Diffie with a fantastic call. Walk me through how you guys felt in the last the last lap of that race, because it was.
I think me and Wessel can
cool.
agree. We were pretty fucking jocked up.
Yeah, it was pretty good. You know, me, Tegan, and Sal. I believe we were all watching the race live, and I think coming into those closing laps, Tegan had kind of called Harrison like early in the race.
Really?
Yeah, he did.
I told Wessel, I said, if he's still not wrecked at the end of this, I think he's winning it.
Yeah, and I kind of could see it after, like, I think it was the first green white checkered.
I think after the Josh Berry flip, that literally put him in on the front row.
Yeah, like, after the Berry flip, that put him like in, I think it was outside row 2 or 3 or something like that. I can't remember. And I was like, I mean, he could make it up there, and that would be a crazy win. Like him or Parker, like Parker Retzlaff would be a crazy win. It wouldn't affect the playoffs at all. Like,
yeah, you mentioned that too, but I'm like, no, I want Harrison.
But I think it was a special moment, kind of watching that, because it's like, you know, I grew up watching Jeff Burton. I was never like a fan of Jeff Burton. But you know, I liked him. He was always like really
a teammate. So
he was always really good, really kind of clean driver on the track. And they call him the mayor. And then he's kind of found his spot in the booth. I think he's gotten better over the years.
He's not great still.
No, he's not great, but I think
his voice is annoying, but he does a really good job explaining.
I gotta say, I don't think we got to get over the voice, because they ain't no different than Jeff Burton and hearing Dale Jr. screech at the top of his fucking lungs.
Yeah, Jr. does the same thing.
I like.
But can we say that I think? I'm not trying to shit on Rick Allen, because I think Rick Allen has also gotten better over a few years.
He has, yeah.
But I think the supporting cast in the NBC broadcast is better with Lee Diffie than it is with Rick Allen.
Especially after they lost Dale Jr. I do feel like the energy is gone, because I think Dale Jr.
I don't know. Lee Diffie kind of brings it back. I think Lee Diffie
so.
definitely brings it back.
Yeah.
On that side, I think they lose it. They lost it with Dale Jr. on the color commentary, and they gained it a whole lot more, in my opinion, with Lee Diffie.
Yeah,
doing the main.
But you know, going into those closing laps, I kind of became a Jeff Burton fan there, because I think it was really special to see, you know, that Ned Jarrett, Dale Jarrett type moment.
I just wish he'd have called him. I think he was just too fucking nervous. He didn't want to.
He was nervous. You could tell. He called, the last call he made was the outside's losing the run, or the outside's broken up.
Yes.
And I think he was breaking apart there, and then they came back, and he was like kind of at a loss for words, and then it just happened. Like, but yeah, that was a really cool moment. NBC giving him a pass to just leave the booth and getting down to the infield pretty quick.
He hustled.
He ran down there. He's an old man. It's tough getting down those stairs.
He hustled for sure.
No, yeah, it was a really cool special moment, and also just like, I think I saw an interview with Jeff Burton where he explained it really well. It's like this big David versus Goliath moment. You know, you have Kyle Busch, a 2-time champion, Christopher Bell, who's, you know, been one of the better drivers,
former teammates.
Yeah, one of the better drivers this season. And then just like the story behind this, you know, Harrison Burton, he just lost his ride. He's the last of full-time drivers on points. You know, going against Kyle Busch, who's trying to make it into the playoffs. He's in a must-win.
Yeah.
Also, I don't even think he cares about the playoffs. He just cares about his streak.
He's trying to extend his win streak for an 18th or 20th straight year.
Yeah.
And then it's just he gets pushed by Parker Retzlaff to the win.
Yeah.
In his second,
Parker did a better job than Seabell.
Motorsport. And it was just crazy. It was wild. But it was a really good moment.
Yeah, no, it was awesome, and just the pure emotion. And as you said, you were a Jeff Burton fan. I wasn't a Jeff Burton or Harrison Burton fan on that last lap. I was a fan of the dad rooting his son to the line, because you knew in there that Jeff Burton was getting nervous. He would probably hold on to Lee Diffie and Steve.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
probably Steve more than anything.
Yeah.
And that's what I was rooting for. I was rooting for the dad that was wanting to see his son win. That emotion of that moment of the dad that has worked his whole life, or worked his whole son's life, to help him be as good as he can be, and help him to hone his craft in this sport where the Burton family made their name, and to see that moment where it all comes together for Harrison finally on the Cup Series, and for his dad to be up there watching, painting the picture for everybody watching on television. I think it's just a fantastic moment. Tegan, do you have any thoughts on that?
I mean, I loved it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm always kind of been a Harrison Burton fan too. It's not said a lot. I was a big fan of him when he got the rod. I always at first thought he was going to be my next guy when Harvick retired, because we knew it was coming. And then he just kind of fell off the radar. So yeah, I'd love to see it. Like I said, I had to mute my mic during the final lap because I was dropping every fucking cuss word imaginable. I mean, when he got clear, I told him, fucking block him, goddammit. And he did. It's just, a little bit later than what I would have done it. But I love the call. The whole reason why I am a fan of this sport is because of my dad. And that's who my dad rooted for, was Wood Brothers from the 70s. It didn't matter who was in that fucking car. That's who he rooted for. So, that's the whole reason why I got into NASCAR. I didn't get into NASCAR till I was 14 years old. Didn't even know that it fucking existed till, my dad. So, I have the Blaney's, winning diecast. I actually, the last couple of trips I went to my mom's, I brought one of the old, 21 diecast, I think Morgan Shepherd, just because she didn't have room for it. So it's sitting on my, back there on my bed with the other, with Blaney. So I'm really debating on whether or not I want to spend the $89 for this win version. And I'm really about to throw the gauntlet down and go ahead and order it and get the autograph of the Wood Brothers and Harrison, along with it. So yeah, it's a big deal. I think for this sport, I think it kind of, casted a little bit of the Austin Dillon shit aside for another couple of days till yesterday. It's opposite spectrum.
Completely.
We didn't like how Austin Dillon got into the playoffs because of this way. But like I said earlier,
he his way in though. Austin,
when he won, when Harrison won, I didn't think
he won it straight up.
He just made the playoffs. I was thinking he just won his first fucking race. Mm-hmm. That's all I was thinking about. I think the majority of the fan base was thinking that for the first 4 hours after that race was over. And then yesterday,
the reality started setting in.
People were like, oh my God, this system sucks. I'm like everybody else. We've had this same system for 10 years. 10 fucking years, and now it's a fucking problem.
I think people have had a problem with it for a while. But.
There's a discussion we can have about it later. I think the win and you're in is fine. I'm fine with that. But
the top 30 of the rule kind of probably needs to come back.
And I think it needs to be 25.
Yeah, I find it hard to swallow, because think about it, right? Denny said this on his podcast. You're Michael Jordan or you're Denny Hamlin, right? Obviously, you know the rules, and you know that winning is a guaranteed spot in the playoffs, right? I get that. But as a team owner, it's probably quite hard to swallow, and even like a sponsor, if you're one of the sponsors for the 23 car or Busch for Chastain. I would find it hard to swallow that you put all this money in and have all these talented people working on the cars and put you in a decent spot, 13th in points, 14th in points. It's not where they want to be, but that's still pretty good.
That's
and
crazy.
Now a guy 34th in points goes in over him. I understand that's the box we play in, but I can understand where it could be hard to swallow for some of those team owners.
I think 25 is just too low of a number. There's over 25 good teams that can win on a weekly basis. That's not fair. I think it needs to go back to 30 to where it was.
I think you need but there's only 34 full-time drivers.
There's only 34 full-time.
If you have a 30, then
teams.
If you have a 30, then I'm at the point where you say fuck it to let everybody in.
Yeah,
I think NASCAR. I understand the shock factor in these moments. Can create buzz from a surprise winner. But I think that NASCAR should want to advertise that the playoff drivers are their 16 best drivers. The 16 best drivers and teams in the sport are not going to be in the playoffs this year. I would argue there's going to be a few teams.
I could argue with you that the best 16 drivers in points will never all make the playoffs in a single season. There's always going to be somebody that gets left out.
And this year it just seems bad
because somebody outside
3 or 4 or 5
will always win.
Outside the top 20 points.
Well, I mean, Bubba's 13th in points, Chastain's 14th in points, and they're out.
Okay, so here's my thing. So what's the difference in saying if Bubba's good enough to be in if he's 13th in points on just points? How far is he ahead of 16th? Would he still be in the danger zone if we didn't even take into account winners outside the top 20?
Over 80 points above Kyle Busch in 16th right now.
Well, then you just have a ho-hum season. You might as well not even count wins and just go to do it by the fucking points. Go back to 2003 and before. Consistency. Don't worry about your wins. Just get your fucking points.
I don't mind this format, and I think it's fine. I understand.
It got looked at a lot this year because of who's won and got in.
I get what you're saying, but I have a heart for like points. Like I think that I like.
That's it too. Harvick would be a 4-time champion.
Jeff would be 7. All right,
you're preaching to the choir here.
I just think we'd be a little better served for the competitive aspect.
I don't think we'd have the audience if the championship was decided before we got to fucking the last 2 or 3 races of the year.
I'm not
talking.
I'm not killing the playoffs. I'm just saying that there's an argument that can be made where I think the winning you're in is fine, and I think the threshold should be lowered. But if you lower it from everybody to 30, that's only excluding a very small portion.
But the thing is, till this year, it was 30 anyway.
No,
or was it not the top 35?
It was 30 until a couple years ago.
Until like 2 years ago. They eliminated it after...
Quietly.
Yeah. And didn't really announce it.
I think 25 is a good solution because if you are in the top... I understand that you said there's guys outside of the top 25 that can win, and you are right because that's been proven.
But hey, they get that win, and then now they're like, all right, now we got to crunch in here. We have to get top 25 in points. So they can
and that creates more drama and buzz. He's got the win, but can he get that threshold? And it can
did we have another incident where we have a driver that's injured and misses 5 or 6 races? They're not getting those points back, not unless the bottom half just fucking suck.
Chase Elliott almost made the playoffs on points last year.
That's because
if you're a driver good enough that's going to win a race, and you get injured, I think you'll be fine to make the playoffs. Kyle Busch was past the top 30 where he needed to be, Barely. So I don't think that's an argument against the threshold because Chase Elliott missed how many 6-7 races last year, right, in the regular season, which is quite a big portion of it. It's only 26 races. He missed 6. That's a big deal, and he literally almost made the playoffs on points. He was one Michigan DNF away from being in that conversation. So I really don't. I don't think that's a fair argument. I liked the chase how it was from 2004 to 2013. I don't mind how it is now because you get drama, but the ratings have not shown any sort of boost based on the format that we have. Like Phoenix is one of the lower rated, like the championship race is one of the lower.
That's the track. That's not the format. That's the track.
I also think, yeah,
it's the track. It's not the format.
Still though, I mean, like the last few races, you're going up against football. You're not going to win no matter what. And I understand. I respect them for trying, but I don't think a playoff format is.
Let's be honest.
Like this is going to help the ratings in any way. It hasn't.
Matt Kenseth killed the original format all year long. Jimmy Johnson killed the format after that because they reset it for 10 races and he won literally 5 in a row. People quit watching. There's data behind that. He had it locked up all you had to do was finish fucking 15th at Homestead every year to lock it up, against Denny and Harvick and whoever else was in it, Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin. They had to change it to where you got to put butts in the seat and people behind the TV. If I know that my guy is out of it because some dumbass like Jimmy Johnson's out there got it locked up before we even get there, I'm probably not going to watch it, or I'm going to half-ass watch it. I'm going to be flipping channels.
I don't know. I don't like the idea of it coming down to one race. That's always going to be kind of a hard thing.
No, see, the thing that I don't like about it is that we have these playoffs with 3 race rounds.
Yeah,
for 3 rounds, and then we have a championship that's 1 race. Like that's
make the final round 3 races. That's my,
yes, I agree.
Because then
I think make the first round 2 races, make the second round 2 races, and make the championship round 3.
I think they should all be 3 because
it
think
goes
about
2,
it.
2, 3, 3.
You have a 12 race playoff. That's a third of the season. That's a good even cutoff point. You still get some good races in the playoffs. You can still do Daytona a couple weeks earlier and have it, the cutoff race, which I think everybody likes. And I think everybody wins in that. I think it's a better solution because then it helps keep the integrity of the championship. Because Ryan Blaney, I'd argue was the person that exploited it the most last year. Not discrediting him because everybody plays in the same sandbox and other guys have taken advantage of it. Joey Logano in 2018 took advantage of it.
Joey took advantage of it in 22.
Yes.
Yeah, but the way that you say that's weird because even if we were under the chase format, Blaney still would have won the championship last year.
Right, and I'm saying I agree. I don't know. I think Hamlin.
He was by far one of the faster cars in the playoffs.
In the second half of the playoffs, yes. The first half he wasn't as good. But no discredit to him. Chase did the same thing. Chase was probably going to be 3rd in points in 2020 if you went on a year-long format. He would have won it in both Chase formats that year. So it benefits. I think I'll argue the pendulum kind of swings evenly. Obviously,
the laws of average.
Right. Chase won a championship in 2020 that he wouldn't have won in the points championship, and he didn't win one in 2022 that he would have won with the points championship. So I'm just using him as an example. I think the cream will rise to the top, but I'd argue that I think that we should find a way to make that a 3 race round. I understand they want that Game 7 moment at the end of every season, but the NBA Finals doesn't always go to 7 games. The Stanley Cup doesn't always go to 7 games. The World Series doesn't always go to 7 games.
And also, so kind of to wrap back to the winning you're in thing. You don't see the 0-17 New York Giants beat the 17-0 I don't know Kansas City Chiefs and make the playoffs because of it. That's I don't know. That's just I don't like that. I think at some point you have to be mathematically ineligible of making the playoffs. I don't think everybody should just be allowed at any point.
Right. And I'm going to put this situation out here. It's obviously an extreme scenario, and it would very unlikely happen. A driver could literally finish last every race and then win Daytona the last week before the playoffs and be in.
I don't think that's going to logically happen, though.
But
not logically.
It's never going to happen because the odds are astronomically large. But it is possible. It is possible for a driver to run dead last every single weekend, win one race at Daytona.
If the Giants don't perform in the regular season, they will not be in the playoffs if they don't beat the teams around them in the standings. I think that's fair. And it's not like, they beat the Cowboys week 17, now they're in. That's not how it works. I understand in this day and age when there's so much TV money in sports that, everybody wants a piece of the pie and being in the playoffs and getting that spotlight. And 16 out of 34 full-time drivers is a pretty big chunk. That's about half. About half, which is kind of where every other sport lands. now.
Every sport has expanded their playoffs the last few years. It's crazy.
Right, because there's just so much money.
NBA went from like 8 to 12 now. NFL went from, what was it, like?
Now they have 3, like everybody but the 1 seed plays, in the first round.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and not discrediting Harrison Burton because the win was
the win's cool. The win is awesome.
I really enjoyed the win. I think everybody did in our group, but it's just it can be tough for a guy like Bubba Wallace who has had a good year. Obviously he's behind his team, tracking behind his teammate, and should be better. But him and Ross Chastain haven't had bad years.
I'm gonna give those two credit too. Bubba had a tough interview. He kind of shot himself down again like he usually does, getting in his feelings. But him and Ross did both go to victory lane to congratulate Harrison Burton, which I thought was really cool, and it says a lot.
Yeah, no, definitely. Ryan is such an idiot.
What did Ryan do?
Can you guys read this?
Call him. Oh, man.
Ryan, what's up? Hold on. Oh, good.
What's up?
Ryan, what's going on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, you're live. You're live, by the way.
I told you, yes, is Eric Jones. Or did anybody take Eric Jones? I said yes, and you told me you wanted to pick Eric Jones.
Oh. Well, who's available?
We ain't got him yet.
Who's not available? Let me give me that.
Ryan
Eric Jones and Kyle Larson are not.
Tell Ron if he takes Eric Jones, he's an idiot.
Oh, yeah, we don't have Larson. So Eric Jones has been picked.
Yeah.
Larson's been picked. Well, because you went Larson, you were automatically going Larson.
Yeah, because I can't pick anybody else. You got Dylan, you got Barry.
Wait, we did pick Barry for Richmond?
You did, I guess. Did you? No, you didn't.
Okay, I don't like him at Darlington anyhow.
Okay.
Ron's an idiot if he takes Eric Jones.
Barry's
anyway.
run pretty well at
If he takes Jones, he's an idiot with who he's got.
Austin Dillon.
I'll
Okay.
take the Jackass in the instead of putting Austin Dillon, just put Jackass in the 3 for me, please. There you go.
Okay. Thanks, Ryan.
No problem.
Yeah. All right. See you.
Bye.
I think Kevron needs to make the choice. I think Kevron needs to make the choice because I've looked at what they've got available. They've got one driver they can take because nobody else can. He's an idiot if he takes Eric Jones over this other guy.
My audio. Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe
you called
me.
him and it fucked up your shit.
It did. Are we?
Hello?
Yeah,
Yes,
we're good
I
now.
hear you.
But yeah, that was it. Yeah. Whoa, man. That was bad. Like, what was he thinking? We're going to do pod picks now, but man, what a goofball Ryan can be sometimes.
Thought about going ahead and putting mine in there, but they've all been updated last week, and I made you a new one.
Thank you. Wessel, who do you want?
Who do I got? I've got some big guys left. I know. I'm trying to think of them.
Cindric, Gregson, Briscoe, all the 16.
I got Byron.
Burton, Byron. I think you probably have to pick Byron, right?
I got Gibbs. I got Byron, Ty Gibbs. That's
Gibbs
tough.
ain't a bad one. He's good at Darlington too.
He finished second earlier this year, I think.
That's tough. Yeah, I'll go Ty Gibbs. I think it's tough between those two. Byron's been in a slump lately. I don't know what's going on with him. I mean, he was good at Michigan,
normal.
but other than Michigan, he's just been ass.
Tegan Jones, who do you want?
Am I next?
Who did Ryan have that he could have picked?
Reddick. Nobody can take Reddick but fucking Ron and Kevron. I don't understand. Why would you? The dude about won the race last year.
Yeah.
Until he fucked up and brought his own caution out. I got to take Chase Elliott.
Oh, Chase Elliott. All right.
I can't waste that pick.
Your guy. Nice.
It's either him or Joey. And Joey's not had good, races there, the last 4
Races
races. Not even
lately.
have top 20. Yeah.
I'm gonna text JB and Sal right now. You updated the standings, right?
Yeah.
Tied at the top right now between
You
Tegan
scroll down,
and
it's got
Bradley.
it. Go down a little bit.
Whoa! Oh,
Yeah,
this
there you
looks bad. Mike is last still, behind Matt.
You're
Who
behind.
he picked in 10 weeks.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
It's not good. I'll tell you that. It's
Oh
not
my
good.
god. Hey, I was down there with you too for a while, and I had like about a good 3-4 week stretch where I was hitting it.
I need a playoff magic run here.
Me and Bradley just keep swapping.
I need Kyle Larson. I'd like to win the Southern 500. That'd be a great start to this whole this thing. That'd get me up to what, 18 points with picking the winner.
Be 10 behind still.
Yeah, yeah. So, but still,
We need 3 of those just to catch us. With us scoring nothing.
That's right. But I got faith. I'm ready to go. I think that the playoffs are going to be good for.
What are all these numbers next to the names? What did you do, Tegan? What is this?
Tegan,
Oh,
is their
finish.
I did
results.
finishing
Finish
order
position.
this time.
Usually he does
Okay.
order of picks, but he just did finishing order here, so I can obviously understand.
Okay, okay, that's easy.
Yeah.
Well, that way I know I don't get the points fucked up. Because I actually
Yeah.
did that again this morning and had to fix it. I had Chris Busher ahead of Bubba.
Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely a close battle at the top. We got 2 at 28, 2 at 23. And then we got Wessel at 20. Matt's out of the question. He's still ahead of Kev Ryan, who is 2 whole people, and then me, who is 1 whole idiot.
Who just passed up Reddick, by the way. 2
Yeah.
old people.
Austin
Kev Ryan
Dillon is
kick
not
his
a
ass.
bad pick.
But Reddick's a better pick.
Yeah, you're right.
Austin Dillon will literally have to pull a rabbit out of his little fucking tight ass.
By the way, we didn't talk about that either. They did not.
Oh,
win
yeah,
their final
Did we,
appeal.
were there any doubt?
No shot.
Oh wow, look at this. A1A Colb says, "Give me Byron."
Tell us what number he drives and you can have him.
Can we for next year's pod? Can we please have Cole be part of picks?
That would actually be pretty good. As a
I
non
think that's kind of funny.
that would be
I think
fun.
Colby being part of the picks would be actually pretty funny, because I bet he would not be last.
No, surprisingly, he would somehow figure it out. Like,
Yeah, he's
Get the
really
stat
good.
book out.
it's crazy. Yeah.
I think I've just had an idea. Next year's pod, season 4.
No,
we'll
Matt
have-
will be Colby.
Matt will be replaced by Colby. Yeah. Who knows where JB will be? He's married. He could be
True,
retired
yeah.
by then. You know, he could be off into the
Having
sunset.
babies.
Yeah, right. Exactly. But yeah, I think Colby deserves a
Colby's
solo.
also getting married at the end of this year, so he might be.
Yeah, but
running
still,
around
he's got time
getting
to
babies.
talk about NASCAR. I think.
His leash is a little bit longer than JB's, I do believe.
I think it's much longer. Yeah. Poor
Hope
JB,
JB's
man.
watching.
She's got him shackled up. But yes,
collar.
the final appeal officer, Dwayne Johnson.
He's gonna take credit. He's like, yeah, I saw this Austin Dillon this move here at Richmond.
I had to step in.
You know, I told NASCAR that that's not a good move. That we should
Can't do
allow
it.
in the sport. You can't have
Yeah.
it.
I think Andy Petrie was the final guy. He's like, watch this.
What do you think? What do you think Andy Petrie does?
I think Andy
for
Petrie
fun?
sucks RCR's cock enough that he still would have let him go, even though he just got fired.
I think Andy Petrie's done. He'd be lucky if he
He's
may
out of
land somewhere on Prime or HBO because they're sharing their shit.
Really?
He may
You
end up
think he
being
can end up
something
there?
on Pit Road or
No.
something. I don't know.
No,
I don't
Pit
think-
Road? They should have him like trapped in like that storage unit, like they had Tim Brewer trapped in when they first started ESPN. They had him in like a storage unit with a cot car, and he would be like, "Now this right here is the splitter."
What about
Yeah,
they had Spencer in the fucking looked like a storage closet doing
Jimmy Spencer. Yeah,
Jimmy Spencer, yeah.
yeah.
Race up.
at speed.
Andy Petrie would have to have like personality to do that though.
Andy Petrie may land on NASCAR's little streaming service that they're starting next year. Or
Oh yeah, that'd be
TV
great
channel
for
or
him.
whatever's kind of going
That'd
on.
be great for him. A shitty streaming show. that
work for
nobody's gonna
NASCAR.
watch.
That way
Yeah,
it
that's
has to
doesn't
be
make sense to
fucking.
me. If they're doing a streaming service, that would make sense. That's fine. But if they're doing a TV channel, I don't understand that.
I don't know. I mean, every major sport.
Okay, this is my
league
thing.
has their own. TV
I'd rather
channel.
go to a dedicated channel / app instead of having to open up the NASCAR app or their YouTube channel to watch something with fucking ads.
Right, and it also could be like how Peacock has a WWE section. It could become the Fast NASCAR channel section. They're calling it Fast, I think. They could do that on Max or Prime. I think Max would be more likely, just considering how I think their deal with Max is a little more. Like that's where all the onboard cameras are going to be next year, I think.
And then you got Prime that's going to have all qualifying in practice. So
for half the year, and Max has it for the other half.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So obviously, you think could be one of those. Could be Peacock. You never know. Or they could just start their own streaming service altogether. Which I think would be
fucking $50 a month. I'm here for it.
If it's $9.99 and I can
do that. I don't think it needs to be that much. Let's start off.
It'll show like original content, probably like documentaries that NASCAR could make, old races, which I will.
Maybe like the original, like the 3 movie. That would be nice.
Like
any NASCAR movie, like Stroker A's, Days of Thunder, they should get rights to.
Yeah,
the whole thing of putting old races in a streaming service or on a TV channel just doesn't make sense to me, because you can get them on demand for free on the NASCAR website. Every single race that has ever been broadcasted.
Well, maybe they stopped doing
on NASCAR.com. I mean, maybe. What the fuck is going on?
Or like I said, if you make this app, if it's an app that they're putting it on, if they end up making their own app, it's available on Apple devices, on PlayStation 5 can be downloaded. It's even if they have to go through Peacock or Prime or HBO Max, I'm more likely going to pull it up on their app instead of going through their website where their shitty app, because their app is garbage. It is fucking slow as shit and barely works.
You trust their streaming service to be better?
Yeah, because it's be dedicated. It will be a dedicated. It's like y'all.
And the NASCAR app right now isn't dedicated. It's the only app they have.
Yeah, but still, they don't. Like, what were you talking about that you wanted to see on the app? And I told you that it would bog it down even worse. It was you. It was during the Saturday night race. You wanted to see something that they show it on the app or something. Throttle tracing.
Throttle trace. Yeah, I was looking on the NASCAR app, seeing if they would show throttle trace. If they don't, throttle.
That app would fucking shut down. You'd have to force close it every 5 minutes.
I'd love access to SMT.
Yeah, I think as fans we should get live access to SMT. I think that'd be pretty cool.
It would be.
SMT. There's still such thing as too much information.
Yeah, but every team gets access to all information in SMT. So
that's why they got engineers to fucking look at it and know what they're looking at.
Right.
But if I see Lion doing this, I'm gonna be like, what the fuck am I looking at?
Well, I'd argue that
I think it needs to be put into like a more of a
graph.
Well, I mean, they're already in graphs,
like a scale.
But it needs to be more
terms,
of a user-friendly format, kind of.
Right.
Yeah.
I would argue that SMT data. I know NASCAR has kind of a free open land. I don't like it. I think that you should kind of keep the driver's skill and what they do to the driver and the team.
Yeah, they need to
everybody got the watching Harvick shit when NASCAR made it open, and that's what got everybody caught up.
Because in F1, like
Alexa home.
We're having all sorts of issues over there. In F1, I know Tegan won't like that I'm talking about F1, but the team cannot tell the driver over the radio what to do.
What their SMT shit is.
They can't say they'll be penalized if they say Hamilton is better than you in turn 6 because he's turning in sooner. They can say you're losing time here.
Okay. If you're doing it from the data, I can see that. But if you're actually visually seeing it, I don't see nothing wrong with the spotter.
Well, there's no way for them to visually see it, though. Like, you can't. There's not. They're talking from the pit, the garage.
Yeah, that I see. But
right.
NASCAR, on the other hand, that's always been a thing anyway.
Well, like if a spotter can see, then yeah, I get that, and that's fair. Yeah. But you can't like.
Right now, we do use data to look at that shit too. It's not the spotter anymore. It's the crew chief.
Well, the spotter has an iPad with SMT up there, and they can say the 6 car is braking at blank. You're
TJ
breaking here.
TJ loves data.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Don't get TJ going on. If you took his,
that's fine
away.
if you want to go back and watch it. I don't think they should have live access to it at the track. I still don't, like I said to Mike earlier, I don't think they should see another driver's shit anyway. I think NASCAR should have it.
It should be closed to just your team
to prove something that was done intentionally, like a right hook or whatever. That's fine too.
Yeah.
Put it out there.
Look, and I would say even close to just like your single car team. I would be fine if it was like Hendrick Motorsports can see all of Hendrick Motorsports data. Joe Gibbs can see all
that's
of Joe
the way
Gibbs
it was
data.
anyway.
I don't like that Joe Gibbs can see.
Can look at Hendricks.
Or
that's the way it was anyway. When Harvick
Yeah.
was, that's how Harvick got good at this fucking the other gen car, and his teammates would try to study it and couldn't figure it out still. But now you take everybody else is looking at you. You're going to find people on these better teams that's going to be like, oh, that's what he fucking does. Well, I can do that. And then your fucking advantage that you spent 10 years fucking crafting and honing is fucking gone in less than a fucking half a season because NASCAR decided to open the shit up. It's not. And I don't understand how the Race Alliance agreed to that bullshit, but I would not have.
And you have to think, the cars are almost all the same, and now the drivers.
Now you're
gonna
give them the tools to all drive the same.
Yeah. The same, yeah.
So, where will the passing be? Because, I know it's my guy, so I hear him say it more than anybody else. Chase Elliott has been saying since the beginning of the next gen car, it's only going to get worse.
You ain't the only one.
Well, but I'm just
doing everything they can think of to make it harder.
Yeah.
Look, here's a car that's two equal. And here's the data that you can look at your compadre over here and see what the fuck they're doing.
Because now Chase Elliott, let's say, I'll just use him as an example here. Watkins Glen, anybody can look at what he does there. That was his playground. Obviously, a different car. Yeah, that race was shit last year. Rumor is they're going to bring the soft tire to that race.
I heard that,
which I think could be interesting.
That track wears tires.
It does, yeah. No, I think it could be a positive thing, and maybe we see that soft tire at like a Martinsville in the playoffs, or I don't think they can bring that to Bristol because that'll shred.
Speaking of adding
we already got problems. We still got problems with the car we got at Bristol's.
I was about to say, speaking of modifications being added to a car, how about that shark fin this weekend? Didn't do a
really helped,
thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it was going to help regardless if it was on there or not. I think the same thing would have happened.
Yeah.
I think I keep saying it. It's annoying as fuck. You're not going to fix it.
No.
But too fast. They're catching air with the flat bottom, and we're not going to fix
the flat bottom.
We have to have a whole new car then, and then we're not Gen 7 anymore. We're Gen 8. So,
is that the worst thing?
I don't know. It could get worse.
I mean, to be fair, I think they
don't challenge them. Don't do it.
I think they can make adjustments to get rid of that. Because I mean, look where the car of tomorrow started. The car of tomorrow was flipping like crazy when it first came out. And they worked on it. They got rid of the spoiler. They changed up the splitter, and it helped that car a lot. Like I think the car tomorrow started as the worst car in NASCAR, and
I think you're giving it too much. It was not that bad. Like I know it was
bad
for NASCAR fans. It was a visually jarring change, but honestly, in my hindsight, the racing wasn't that bad to me. As a kid, I was a kid.
Still had 900 horsepower.
Yeah, he had good. I thought they didn't actually look that bad at the wings. I think they looked kind of cool, but now I didn't like it then. But
I still don't. That's because you're going back. You're thinking you're going back like I do. Hell, I think 2001 to 2003 was the best cars because you had a caution every fucking 20 laps in that package because they couldn't drive the damn things because they weren't fucking mechanical engineer to fucking stick to the fucking track like a fucking track car. No. So to me, that's the better car. To you, it's going to be obviously be where you come in to started watching it. But that's when I started watching it was 2001.
I mean, that's when I started watching it. But I generally think that the best car NASCAR has run is the Gen 6 car.
Yeah, but that's because they had no ride height rule.
I think
let them fucking flat out fly.
I liked the car. I liked
that 15 to 2016 car was peak NASCAR.
I think 2014 was peak.
2015 was meh. I liked honestly like 2011, 2012, like adjusted cot without the wing. I understand that. I didn't think it was that bad, but I liked it better. 2011, 2012 was kind of my like, man, I love this shit. Like I think I'm all in.
Well, I mean, I think Harvick could drive it. It's just RCR kept sucking every other year. So
Yeah,
they had one good year, then they think, oh, we're good again. We're good again. We can stop now, and then they suck ass for another year. It was hard to decide what car you locked.
Sally picks Logano. I don't know if I mentioned that.
You did now.
Yeah, so it's kind of a big week, Darlington. Southern 500.
Anyway.
Before we get out of here,
used to drive Chargers.
Yeah. Congratulations, Sally's getting a new car.
Congratulations, Sal. Got a new car.
Every Mexican.
That's why he's not here. That's why he's not here. Congratulations, Sal.
Right. Hey, we're going to Mexico next year.
Yeah. Oh my God, we almost forgot about that.
That's on my birthday, by the way. I kind of want to go. Sal, can you take me for my birthday?
All right, nice.
Hey, my amigo Sal, how are you doing? This is your friend Daniel Suarez here. First of all,
your friend Daniel Suarez?
Man, do you think NASCAR fixes it so he wins that race?
They better not.
No, there's no way.
Chase Elliott winning in Mexico is going to hit so different, baby. I'm jocked up. Let's go.
I'll be honest with you. That could be a race for SVG. It's a new track.
Yeah. That's
Daniel Suarez might be the only driver that has run on that track, probably. Yeah. I imagine.
Well, no, Kyle Busch has.
They ran into this in Xfinity years ago, right?
It's a long time ago.
So Kyle probably has.
Kyle Busch won
has
one
a
of
race
them there. Maybe we bring one.
He did win one there, didn't he? Yeah.
Or Marcos Ambrose.
Okay.
Harvick won there. No, wait. No, he didn't either. But he ran good.
I'd be pretty excited. I think it's going to be a cool race. You know, Mexico, I think that could be one of the bigger crowds that NASCAR gets all year. First international race since, 1950, I think they said. Which is crazy. The sport started in, 49?
First Cup Series national race, yeah.
The sport started in, 39, 49?
And it was probably in Ontario where we raced 49? At, so we didn't go too far.
Yeah.
I think Ontario was actually in California.
There's another one I'm thinking. There's one in Canada that they went to.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, there's an oval up there somewhere. I think I know what you're talking about.
So we'll see how it goes. I'm kind of excited to see it. I'd like Montreal better because that would maybe even go to Montreal if it was. That would be right there in one of the closer ones I have.
This is a multi-year deal with this, not the track, with the one that's hosting. So they could literally say, "Hey, how about we go to Canada next year or the following year?" So and NASCAR may be inclined. So it may be something that gets flopped out.
NASCAR also hasn't confirmed what date this is coming from, but I think Bob said it's likely coming from
Richmond.
The first Richmond race.
Yeah. Which is fine. I mean, I think Richmond has passed the need for two
I thought
races. Not a bad race.
Date. I thought it was June 15th for the Cup.
Well, no, but it is taking the Richmond spot on the calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is fine. I mean, I like Richmond. It's a good track. But I think in this day and age of NASCAR, we've passed the need for two Richmond races. You know, we took them away from Pocono, Michigan, New Hampshire.
I'll be honest. I think there's maybe 2 or 3 tracks that I think NASCAR should go to twice a year, and the rest of them
not including Talladega.
Daytona, go to twice a year. That's fine. Anyway. Talladega, go to twice a year. That's fine. And I would argue Bristol should be the other twice a year track, and that's it.
Well, Kansas, I think, has the Kansas to keep it. Maybe not the attendance, but
Charlotte too. I would maybe.
Yeah,
Charlotte's the home track. I feel
Charlotte
like
technically gets 2 races. It's just 2 different.
Yeah, but I don't.
It's the same facility, so I'll count that.
Yeah.
Martinsville, I don't know if we need to there right now.
No, I think Martinsville needs to lose.
But it is the oldest track on the schedule.
Right.
It's the OG track, actually. The only OG track on the schedule.
Yeah, I think that we can maybe go down to 1. And Darlington went down to 1 at one point also and came back. So if you put on
I think COVID kind of brought Darlington back to having multiple races.
And Atlanta. I don't think we should go to Atlanta twice.
No. Definitely not with the revamp. It should be
once in the summer. Summer night race, once at Atlanta.
Even summer night race, that's hot.
It's hot.
That's a hot race. Yes, that's hot. You have no idea how hot it gets down here.
It's been a miserable
It's 97 degrees out there right now, and it's not nighttime. So
it's hot. It's been hot this summer.
Yeah. I had to go get my AC fixed yesterday and today.
Yeah, let's say it is 81 right now, and it is dark. Like it's about dark.
With how hot this summer's been in New York, I've thought about purchasing an ice pick and going to live with Ed Fire in Alaska. I mean, it's been miserably hot. Yeah. I mean, it's been quite hot this summer. I don't know if anybody else can speak for me up here, but
we had a good week last week. It was kind of like an early fall preview, and this week.
I played golf, and it was like one day it was like 73 out last week, and that was really nice. I really enjoyed that. I bought a flannel. I bought a flannel last week. I was so jocked up about the weather. I'm like, I'm ready to go.
I can't wait for snow.
You got hot again.
We need another good 93 blizzard. I don't give a fuck.
Man, it has not. I think it has snowed here once since I moved to Georgia.
Yeah, we get a lot. I don't. Well, you wouldn't get jealous if you get like 50 feet in the winter or something like that.
I don't give a fuck. As long as they don't come at one time. Even if it came at one time, I think I'd still be happy.
50 feet?
I'd sit here and watch the chaos.
Right. Yeah, no, it's great. Go move to Buffalo then. See how much you like it. Bradley says y'all can't talk about weather without Ryan. That's a great point.
It ain't going to snow here, damn it. Not while I'm here.
I'll be damned if it's going to be 80 degrees in Atlanta at 9 o'clock at night. Yeah, it will, Ryan.
Ryan is in a weather Discord.
It didn't do him no good at Charlotte.
No, it didn't. I'll be damned if this cloud does anything. It starts raining.
It was during qualifying too.
Yeah, it was. I'm sitting next to him. I'm like, all right, Ryan, I got you. I trust you. And then the people behind and around us must have thought, this fucking asshole. Like, what an idiot. I mean, I'll tell you what, that Xfinity race was miserably hot out there.
It was. I'm surprised I didn't get burnt worse than what I did.
I was disgustingly sweaty during that. Mm-hmm. That was so hot.
The top,
but it was worth it, baby.
So bad.
Chase Elliott, he did it. Yeah.
He also almost killed Regan Smith too. I don't know if anybody remembers.
Well, that wouldn't have been the worst thing. I mean, Regan Smith is lucky that Twitter likes are private now. I'm pretty sure that guy.
Who else got caught? Larry Mack.
Larry Mack
was the one that got caught.
He got hacked.
Regan Smith, sort of, yeah. 8 years apart, he got hacked. Regan Smith is like QAnon, crazy right-wing conspiracy theory Twitter.
It's always the ones you wouldn't expect.
I'm not surprised. Regan Smith, a little fucker. I mean, I don't like the guy at all. He's an absolute embarrassment of the state of New York. I mean, that's our NASCAR guy. Where are
He's
the
an embarrassment of the state of New York?
Or Steve Park?
Where are the boat? It's Steve Park, a nice Long Island guy. Yeah, what are you saying, Wessel? Are you
just saying the Giants are
they're
the
in New
lowest rated
Jersey.
team
They're in New Jersey
this year.
They play in New Jersey.
They're projected to have the first overall pick this season, which I guess that's good.
We would have had a top 3 pick last year, and
Danny DeVito kind of
if fucking Tommy Salami didn't have a 3-game Linsanity run and fuck us out of a good pick, and we couldn't get a goddamn quarterback because of some stupid Italian that's doing endorsement deals for fucking cold cuts in Hackensack, New Jersey. I mean, it really bothers me. But anyway,
could have had Caleb Williams with his purse and his painted fingernails.
I'd rather that than fucking Daniel Jones. Dumbass. Anyway, let's get out of here. Good episode, guys. We'll be back next week after the Southern 500. Might do it on a Tuesday again because we'll maybe give Monday off for the Labor Day holiday. So
it is Labor Day next week. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, maybe I'll go do something. I don't know. I need to get away. Maybe.
Don't you need to go to like Vermont? Right? Isn't this the time of year?
Columbus Day.
That's
Columbus Day.
Columbus Day. You motherfucker, you.
Sorry, Indigenous Peoples Day. I will drop my yearly Vermont. I got my flannel for it and everything ready to go. That's what I bought it. So
it's fucking hot.
That is such the.
It will not be hot. Columbus.
This guy takes fucking trips to Vermont every fucking
Indigenous
Peoples Day.
Well, it's great. It's a lovely place. We'll
But why specifically on that day? What's so special about that day that you
have
to go to
the leaves are changing and the drive is really nice to where we go, and you can see like through some of the mountains, like all the leaves
beats
changing.
The crowd. He beats the tourist.
I don't beat the crowd on a holiday. There's a good amount of people there, but it's just
holiday my ass. Ain't no damn holiday.
People are off and they like to go somewhere.
That's a holiday that needs to go back into the rotation like NASCAR does and give us something else off, like election day.
I think that's a great thing. I think election day should be an off day. You should go practice your right to vote. I'm registered anyway. But no, it's a nice drive from where I'm at to Manchester, and the leaves are beautiful. You go look at it. It's a nice day out. There's some outlets there. There's a lovely bookstore that I get plenty of books from, like this right here. Barack and Joe. I got that read from there. I'm reading this book right now. Actually,
crack kind of guy.
What's that?
You look like an audio kind of guy. That
No,
I like audiobooks. I love audiobooks.
No, I put on like some jazz and I read in my room.
I don't have the patience to sit down and read. I pop my AirPod in and I turn on Audible.
Yeah, I haven't delved into that world. I'm worried that if I do, I wouldn't go back. Once you're able to listen, then I feel like it'd be tough to.
Well, it's fun though because like you're still listening to the book. You can do other stuff.
Yeah, no,
yeah. I do it at work.
I think it's good. Yeah.
Like I've read.
Pick up a book and you're like.
I mean, I've read 3 books over the last kind of.
You didn't read
month and a half.
Yes.
I listened to 2.5 books over the last month and a half while working.
Some random man put you to bed. And, here's a nighttime story.
I don't really listen. I don't really listen at home. I only listen at work.
Okay, that's fair. That's nice though. I think that's a good thing. What have you listened to? Any interesting books?
It's a series from Jack Carr, called Terminal List.
Okay. What is it?
The first book's really good. It's about like the first book is it's like a Navy SEAL he's a Navy SEAL and his platoon kind of gets set up by it's a kind of a conspiracy book, but his platoon gets set up because they illegally tested drugs on them without their knowledge, and they all developed cancer from it, but haven't found it out yet.
Right.
So they try to wipe them out to kind of hush them.
And the Terminal List.
And then this one guy who's kind of like a Jack Reacher type character. His name's James Reese, and he, his family gets killed because of this. His whole squadron gets killed, and he kind of is going on a revenge tour.
I like that,
but it's good.
I like that. We've gone way off path here on a NASCAR podcast, but it's all right. It's a good conversation.
We'll get out of here. Book club.
That would be too much. Maybe next year, if we don't have a game, we can start a book club or something like that. I'm always game for new ideas.
Accelerated reading. We'll give out points.
I'll read really fast then. I'm in. I like points. All right. Thank you for watching, everybody. We'll be back next Tuesday probably to talk about Darlington and give you our playoff predictions. Hey, this guy said he'd love to see Harrison Burton when it was such an amazing moment. Facts, it was. That was a lot of fun. Shout out Harrison Burton. Shout out you all for watching.
Shout out Wood Brothers 100.
Wood Brothers 100, Lee Diffie. My MVPs of the week. We're out of here.